What if the biggest NFC prediction this year is simple? Dallas rises, Philly drops, and the entire NFC East gets flipped upside down. With Dak Prescott leading the Cowboys, Jalen Hurts facing pressure, and Jaden Daniels trying to prove the doubters wrong, this division is going to be chaos. Give me your NFC winner in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and let's jump in.
The NFC East and the Dallas Cowboys are set at 8.5 wins. It's minus 135 on the over, plus 110 on the under.
So a little juice on the over. The whole NFC East, their divisional matchups are the AFC South and NFC West. Not easy. AFC South, again, I think median difficulty. Yeah. NFC West, very tough. Dallas's strength of schedule games, however, I think pretty unlucky. This is because they have the second place schedule, DeMonze, which means they draw Tampa instead of Carolina, Baltimore instead of Pittsburgh, and Green Bay instead of Chicago. Now, I think Chicago's better than Green Bay, but you could argue those are the three toughest teams in those divisions. They draw them all with a second place schedule rather than a first place schedule. But I think this is too low. I think the Cowboys are going to draft 2 defensive players in the first round. I think their offense is excellent. 8.5. I thought Schottenheimer did a good job last year. And I don't think the rest of the division has a great team in it.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk more about Philly in a minute. And so I think this is too low. And Dallas right now is my preseason lean for divisional winner. I think Dallas wins 11 games next
kind of
year.
Figuring themselves out. It kind of
and I don't think there's any awful team, and I don't think there's any great team. I like Dallas in that spot. All right, next.
The Giants are set at 7.5, minus 110 on the over, and minus 110 on the under.
Yeah, so they have, again, still AFC South and NFC West. Their strength of schedule games, Cleveland and New Orleans, along with every last place team that's like, wait, Detroit finished last, not Minnesota? You got to be kidding me. So Cleveland, New Orleans, though, that's good. You get a last place schedule. You go from the coaching issues they had to John Harbaugh. Hopefully Jackson Dart's a little more in control. And Malik Neighbors coming back from the injury. All of that, plus a top 5 draft pick. I think this win total is just right.
Yeah.
I think the Giants are, if it were 6.5, I would say go over. 7.5, I think is just right. The fact that there's not juice on either side of it means they are right down the middle. Yeah. This is a 7 or an 8 win team, which would be an awesome year for the Giants. I know some people, they might be a trendy worst to first pick, DeMonze, for some. I don't believe in the offensive infrastructure enough for that, but I do like Harbaugh to bring a real organizational structure there. I think that's just right. Next.
Fair. We got Philly. Their win totals at 10.5, plus 105 on the over, minus 125 on the under.
So a little juice to the under. So they get the opposite of Dallas in that they got, they have the first place strength of schedule, but it really seems easier than Dallas's second place strength of schedule. Their strength of schedule games are Pittsburgh, Carolina, and Chicago. This is an under to me. I think Sirianni enters the year on the hottest seat of just about any coach in the league this side of Todd Bowles. I think because they're going to have to trade A.J. Brown, I think they will, after the draft, they're not going to get any benefit from that this year. They're going to get future draft capital. I think the aging and some of the uncertainty on the offensive line, which has been such a huge position of strength for them, plus some of the players they lost defensively in free agency. I think this is bit of a, we saw it throughout last year to a degree from Philly. I think, could they make the playoffs? Sure. Could they win 10 games and maybe win the division? Maybe. but I think this is an under. I think they are more likely to win 9 games than they are to win 12 games. And so at 10.5, I'll go with the under. Next.
Commanders set at 7.5 wins, -110 on the over, -110 on the under.
Their strength of schedule games are Cincinnati, Atlanta, and Minnesota. They, of course, play their own division, plus the AFC South and NFC West. This is an under.
Okay.
I don't think they, despite trying to address it this offseason, have the defensive personnel. I don't know that they're going to be able to protect Jaden. My concerns about Jaden's ability to make it through a full season are well established, so we don't have to talk about it more. But I think we're going to look back on the Commanders' run to the NFC title game as one of the more flukish things of the last decade. That year, remember, they had so many down with a minute to go victories.
And a Hail Mary.
A Hail Mary. And so now, again, maybe that applies. Some of that concern might apply to the Bears when we get to them, but I don't know. I trust their offensive coaching as much as I trust the Bears. I think my preseason prediction would be the Commanders finish last in that division. I think it's Dallas, Philly, Giants, Commanders, all kind of close, like 11 wins, 10 wins, 8 wins, 7 wins, something like that. But that's my lean there. So there's the NFC East. Cowboys over 8.5. Giants just right at 7.5. Eagles under 10.5. Commanders under 7.5.
Come back to this video in 3 years and then tell me I was right.
Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback.
Not even close. Not even close to top 5 in any aspect.
Who's your top 5?
Top 5, we'll go automatic. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert.
Who else? Who else?
I'm going to throw Jaden Downs right up there. I'm putting C.J. Stroud in there. I'm putting Jackson Dart in there. They call me right out right here. All right? Day one. All right?
It's head football coach of the New York Giants, John Harbaugh.
Wow, thanks, Joe. Appreciate that very much. And what an honor. What an exciting moment. Walk in here and they say New York's a different kind of place, and I would say it's probably true, man. This is pretty amazing right here. This is incredible. And to see those players back there, see those guys smiling and ready to go to work, that gets me fired up too. So to everybody, just thank you very much. Thanks for being here. It's a profound honor to be entrusted with the responsibility of coaching the New York Football Giants.
So, but pending that, you're telling me you believe the Giants are a playoff team. How soon?
Next year, 2026. And if they can't do it, then I think that's a failed season for that team. And here's why. Hey, little brother did it. Jim Harbaugh. John, why can't you as a big brother? He went over and went to the Los Angeles Chargers and went to the playoffs in his first year. DeMeco Ryans did it with the Houston Texans in his first year. Liam Cohen, Mike Vrabel. Why can't you? This team had 7 one-score losses last season. Now they have a guy that is a name that's going to command the room, that's an adult in the room, in John Harbaugh. Those 7 one-score losses, in my opinion, at least 4 or 5 of those games should turn into wins for 2026. In my opinion, I expect them to be in the playoffs for 2026.
You know, my buddy Jerry Jones, because we all know I got love for him. I got so much love for him, I might root for the Cowboys this year because I'm sick and tired. It's been 30 years. I've been right every year. It's been 30 years. I'm tired of being right. I want to be wrong. I want them to actually get to a Super Bowl. It might be nice, okay? It might be nice, all right? Especially with it being in so far. And you know I'll be.
End of the season, if things don't turn around, what do you do? Their backup quarterback, Tanner McKee, has been excellent in very limited action.
Yeah.
But, preseason and all that. So
week 18 against the Giants, how dare you? All right, he was like 21 for 29, 280. You fire Patullo, you get a new OC in the building, and then you run it back with Hurts. Like that's absolutely what you do. It was a 4 interception game. You brought up the AJ Brown one. Like the Devontae one's another good example. Devontae does not run a great route, and the Eagles are running a very familiar concept that Patullo runs all the time. Dante Jackson's sitting on it, right? If you have these sorts of games, like when the offense has been humming and like early in the season, obviously that's very concerning. In this moment, like it definitely feels like the Eagles offense as a whole is very, very jaded. There's no Lane Johnson, he's hurt, and there's no Jason Kelce. These have been like the vocal leaders of the team for the time. Like AJ Brown, that's not really the thing that he does best. Saquon Barkley's only been there for 2 years. Like Jalen's shtick, and forgive me, like it is a shtick, is obviously like worn really thin on people this season particularly. You need a mouthwash offseason. I think that if you get a much more functional, experienced offensive coordinator in there, it's going to look way less painful, even though you're still going to have some of the hard limits that we've talked about with Jalen Hurts. I don't think you see any moves right now this upcoming year. And that's before you even get to the contract, which is like extremely difficult to move.
Extremely difficult. The bigger decision, I think, is not whether to move to McKee, because I don't think they will. It's whether they trade McKee if they get offers for him, knowing.
I would not be surprised if they like flip McKee and then they go sign Malik Willis in free agency, right? And then by week like 10 next year, we're seeing Malik Willis snaps because Jalen Hurts out for 3 weeks. Because Howie's belief in quarterback 2 is less develop a guy to keep him here in case I need him, and is more churn and burn.
Job number 1 for the Eagles organization, this is my firm belief, if you continue with Hurts next, assuming things don't turn around, maybe you squeak into the playoffs, you get eliminated, whatever. You have to accept the reality that your quarterback has to be paired with a good run game to have success because of the way he sees the field and your need to get single high coverages. This entire offseason has to be about making sure you can run the football in 2026. You will not be successful unless you can run the football. That's personnel, that's scheme. My next offensive coordinator hire, I am finding the best run game designer on planet Earth, because that is, to me, is the most important thing this Eagles team has to do next year.